Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a fill on this set. So of course the first thing that I'm doing is just going in and removing the bling with a pair of nippers. Once we get rid of all of the bling, we're going to go in with the extra coarse drill bit to remove the colored acrylic. As you guys know, every time that I do color acrylic, I always do a layer of clear underneath. That way, whenever she wants something different, we don't have to go in and do a whole new set. We can just file that away and then, do the new design with the, colored acrylic again. So again, this is the extra coarse safety drill bit. You can find this one on Amazon. And as always, I'll be sure to leave the link down below to everything. And then also, whenever you're doing this, make sure that whenever I use it like in between 10 and 15,000 RPM. So whatever speed you feel comfortable using it at. And then also, because it's so much colored acrylic, you want to make sure that you put a little bit more force into, doing this, because if not, it's going to take you a really long time to get rid of all of the colored acrylic. But as always, whenever you're using an e-file, make sure that you keep your drill moving at all times. You don't want to leave it in one spot for too long, because it will cause friction and it's going to cause your client's nail to burn. And then also making sure that you get around the cuticle area really good. If you have any lifting, you can go ahead and take it off with this drill bit. But of course, if it's lifted really bad, then I would recommend just taking off the entire nail and replacing it. But we're going to go ahead and finish removing the colored acrylic from both hands, and then we'll move on to the next step. Next, I'm going to go in with this cuticle pusher that I got on Amazon, and I'm just going to push the cuticles back to help expose the new growth, and then that's going to help with reducing lifting as well. This is one step that you absolutely do not want to skip. So remember, you can use a metal cuticle pusher, a plastic one, or even a wooden one, as long as you can either dispose of it or disinfect it. Next, we're going to go in with a 180 sanding band to remove the shine from the natural nail. Just going all around that cuticle area, making sure that we remove that shine, because if not, we will get lifting. So again, this is a 180 sanding band, and again, I'm using the Scarlet Melody Susie nail drill, which I do have a promo code for them, and this time with this sanding band, I'm using it at 5,000 RPMs. But like I always say, y'all, use it at whatever speed you feel comfortable using it at, especially if you're a beginner. You know, this might be a little bit too fast for you, so just adjust it to whatever speed, and then just use it at that speed until you feel like, okay, now it's going too slow, so then you're able to speed it up a little bit more and a little bit more each time. But again, you know, we all are in different stages of our nail journey, so just, you know, do your adjustments however you need to. Now I had to go in and just file down the acrylic a little bit more on that one. And then now we dust the nails off, and I'm going in with the JC Beauty Concepts primer. You can also use the dehydrator. I'm just used to using the primer, but I would definitely recommend applying both. I'm also going to be doing the little mixed, well, not the mixed fruits, but I'm gonna be picking out just the lemon and limes. So I'm gonna cut some of them in half, and then I'm gonna go in with the clear JC Beauty Concepts acrylic, and then I'm also using a neon yellow acrylic. I forgot that I had the one by JC Beauty Concepts, which is a little bit shimmery. That would have been really, really pretty for this set, but this one is actually from Valentino. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Valentino. But as you can see, for this nail, we're gonna go ahead and just do a full nail with this color. And then as you can see, I am using the number 12 JC Beauty Concepts acrylic brush. We're gonna do some glitter as well on this one, and then the fruits right on top of the nail, and then of course going back in and encapsulating with the JC Beauty Concepts clear. As you guys know, I recently just switched from using Mia's Secret to using this brand, and I really like it. I think I mentioned this in some of my previous videos that, you know, the only thing that I did not like about Mia's Secret is that it's so runny, and I think we all can agree on that. Even if you like try to not use as much liquid, it was still pretty runny. So with this one, it's a lot easier to work with, and it just goes on so smoothly. But anyways, as you can see, we just did the glitter and then the lemon and limes, and then encapsulating with the clear. And remember that anytime that you're encapsulating anything, you want to make sure that your acrylic is thick enough to where you're not going to file away any of your fruits or like your glitter and stuff. And then of course making sure that you have a nice apex and a nice thickness at the tip, especially since these are stiletto nails. You don't want to leave the tip too thin because it breaks off really easily. Alrighty, so for this one, we're going to just go ahead and same thing, do the clear underneath. So just do a bead closer to the cuticle area, pat it down and brush it down towards the tip. And then the neon color, we're going to do just on the side of the nail. And then I'm going to come back in and add a little bit of that gold glitter on the side. And then we're going to go in and apply the fruits. And then same thing, just encapsulating with the clear. Alrighty, so for the middle finger, I'm gonna do kind of like an ombre. So same thing, doing the clear underneath first, and then I'm gonna do that neon color at the tip, and then right above that we're gonna do the gold glitter, and then we're gonna go in with the cover blush closer to the cuticle area. And then also remember that when you're working with colored acrylics, you don't want to use too much at one time, because you don't want it to get, you know, like especially when you're doing ombres like this glitter here. If I would have grabbed like a big bead, it would have went all the way to the tip, and it would have took away from that little ombre effect. Same thing for this cover blush. You don't want to get too much, because you don't want to take it all the way down to the tip. You literally just want to blend it where the next color starts. I'm going to go in and just add a little bit more to get a better coverage, and then after this we're going to go in and encapsulate this nail as well. Alrighty, so for this one, I'm going to go in and fill in the back with the clear, and then we're going to do the entire nail with the cover blush, and then we're going to go in and add a little bit of glitter, some angel foil, and some fruits, and then afterwards encapsulating with the clear. And lastly, for the thumb, I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in with the clear. And then this is just going to be a two-toned ombre with the neon yellow at the tip and then the cover blush at the back. Remember that when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you kind of blend this first color in the middle like really well. That way, whenever you come back in with your cover color, they just blend really well, and you don't have a harsh line in the middle. And really, it wouldn't happen unless your cover color is not, I guess I could say, opaque enough. But with this one, you should be pretty good with any color. But, you know, just in case you don't have this color and yours is a little bit lighter, I guess, or a little bit more translucent, you want to blend that color in the middle really good, so it's not just like a super straight line. But now, as always, just applying the cover blush and then blending it right in the middle, making sure that we brush the acrylic really gently, applying the next bead closer to the cuticle area. And then, as you can see, when I apply it closer to the cuticle area, I place it as close as I can, and then I gently pat it down and then brushing it down towards the tip. And then I'm gonna go in with another bead to get it closer. But you never want to just apply it right on the skin, because then it will dry up really easily, and then most likely you will get lifting. So as you can see, I kind of push it up with my brush and then brushing it down and then cleaning around the cuticle area to get any of that product that got on the skin off. And then afterwards, we're going to go in and encapsulate it with the clear. But then, as always, make sure that you look at the nail from different angles. That way you have a nice apex and a nice thickness at the tip. Again, y'all, especially with stiletto nails, because if not, they will break off really easily if you do really thin stiletto nails. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on this other hand. I'm going to let you guys watch, and then after I finish applying the acrylic on this hand, we'll move on to the next step. Alrighty, so we're finishing up the acrylic. Now I'm going to go ahead and wipe my brush off. And remember, you want to make sure that you soak your brush in brush cleaner for about 10 minutes after every single set. But then after that, we're going in with a 100 nail file to reshape the nails. Remember, this is a step that you also don't want to skip, because even though they're already that stiletto shape, once we apply the acrylic, it kind of takes away from that shape. So we just have to go in and redefine it. So same thing, just going in at a 90, really at like a 45-degree angle on both sides. And then also, you know, depending on how sharp your client wants them, you can round them off at the tip or however they want them. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go in and file all of the nails, and I'm using the fine ceramic drill bit, and I'm just going around the cuticle area first, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, just going back and forth until you're able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And then of course filing the rest of the nail to make sure that it's all nice and smooth, but focusing around the cuticle area because you don't want to get any lifting at all. And then what else? I think that's pretty much it. But as I stated earlier, making sure that when you're using your e-file, you keep it moving at all times because you don't want to leave it in one spot for too long. I'm pretty sure that everyone has had that happen where they leave it on your finger too long and then it burns. Well, that's what happened. They either put too much pressure on your nail with the drill, or they just left it in one spot for way too long. Same thing though, going around the cuticle area and then filing the rest of the nail. And then also, if you're a beginner, you know, you're still getting lifting, most likely you're not filing around this cuticle area like you should. Trust me, when I first started, I felt like I was, but I knew deep down inside that I was scared to get too close. So I kind of was doing the motion, but I wasn't looking to see if it was nice and sealed. And that was my problem. So just spend a little bit more time around that cuticle area. Make sure that you pay really close attention, but you will be able to see where you before, like, I didn't really know what to look for, but then I realized, like, okay, you know, I know that it's nice and sealed when I'm able to see those three things: the cuticle, the natural nail, and then the acrylic. And I don't mean there has to be like a huge gap in between, but just enough to where you're literally able to see the natural nail. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and finish filing all of the nails, and then we'll move on to the next step. Alrighty, so now we're going to go ahead and buff the nails, and this is going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. So make sure that you buff the nails really good. And then as you can see, after I buff each nail, I run my thumb over the top of the nail. If it's smooth enough, then I go on to the next nail. If not, I buff a little bit more. And then once we finish buffing the nails, we are going to dust them off, and then you can have your client go wash their hands, or I just use a little alcohol wipe and wipe them off. Okay, so lastly, we're going to go in with some bling. So I am using the Soleil Nail Adhesive, which is what I always use to apply my bling. I'm using the ABSS6 and ABSS12. I'm using my wax pencil, and then again, that is the Soleil Nail Adhesive, which is the glue that I'm using. I know I get that question a lot. I always mention it, but again, that is the Soleil Nail Adhesive. And I usually go through her Instagram and then click on her website. And that usually works, but if not, I think I'll have the link down below for you guys, so you guys can go check it out. Now I just sprayed the nails with the Hurry Up spray, which is going to help that adhesive dry a lot faster. And then I'm going in with the JC Beauty Concepts top coat, and then I'm going to cure for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other hand. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty, really summerish. I just love the colors together and then that glitter. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I'll see you guys next time.